Okay, my name's Tanya. I'm with the BAMN Coalition to Defend Affirmative Action, Integration, Immigrant Rights, and Fight for Equality by any means necessary. We're here today with the lawyers, the family, the union representatives, the co-workers, and you, the students, standing up for immigrant rights, demanding that Berkeley become a sanctuary campus. Last week, Wednesday afternoon, a campus worker at Kerr, just doing his job, was called into the office by a manager, where he was then interviewed by two agents, at least one of whom we believe was the ICE, and taken, we've heard, in a UCPD car to be detained. He's had bogus criminal charges of basically, only charges against him is that he's a supposedly undocumented worker. They're claiming immigration status questions, but they're charging him with the crime of being at work on any day like anybody else. Everybody on Berkeley should have the right to work, to learn, to do their job, to get their education in a safe and peaceful manner. Berkeley is a sanctuary city. This needs to be real. This campus needs to be a sanctuary campus. It should be an ICE-free zone. It should be a place where they're not welcome, where they're not allowed. There are members of unions out here today who have organized in defense of immigrant workers. I know the teachers of Oakland have already voted to support the immediate release of this campus worker. And I know that AFSCME is out here today saying that their contracts have been violated because they're supposed to be notified if there's ever any immigration police coming, and that was not done. This was a union supporter who was targeted. This was a Latino worker who was targeted. This was a member of our community who's been targeted and is being held in Santa Rita by himself. His family hasn't even seen him. His lawyers just gotten to see him today, and he needs to be immediately released. So we're going to be rallying today. We're going to be speaking up. We're going to be marching, and we're going to be demanding an apology from this administration. But more than just words, we need action. We need an immediate implementation of a sanctuary policy for this campus. So I'd like to invite, members of the family, members of the community groups for immigrant rights to, come get on the speakers list if you want to say something about the right to an education here, the right to work and live here. If you want to come join us in this demand for the immediate release of Jesús Gutiérrez. We're just going to extend this cord a little bit and then we'll keep going. If you'd like to speak, we'll form a speakers list up here. At about 12:45, we're going to march. Hey, hey, ho, ho. ICE has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. ICE has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. ICE has got to go.
More packed crowd in here. My name is Ronald Cruz. I'll just say a few words for now. I'm a student at the law school, at Berkeley Law School, and an organizer with BAMN, the Coalition to Defend Affirmative Action, Integration, and Immigrant Rights, and Fight for Equality by any means necessary. And what happened really is an outrage. Do you want your tuition dollars to be spent deporting you?
No!
Do you want your tuition dollars to be spent supporting the people who make this university run?
No!
Who serve the food, who clean these buildings?
No!
It's racist, we know this, but not only that, it's basically irrational, the kind of policy that's going on. And for the university not even to have the spine to defend its own workers and to have its own cafeterias work on their own. How come there hasn't been a single word from the chancellor or from the general manager of dining services? And one of us us actually met a manager, the manager who called in Jesús Gutiérrez, and will have a very interesting story to tell us. But it sounds very much like someone within this university gave the vital information to ICE that they needed to make this arrest. We are in a sanctuary city. The city of Berkeley forbids City of Berkeley police and all employees under their payroll from assisting ICE. Their policy is, we think everyone is a human being, and we think we don't have to assist and go out of our way to help the federal government kidnap our own. Why is it that in progressive, liberal, diverse UC-Berkeley, we have an exception to the sanctuary city policy? This is untenable. This has to end. We encourage everyone to continue gathering. We're going to have a march sometime after 12:30, after the 12:30 rush comes through. But we can win this. This is, like Tanya Kapner said, at UC Santa Barbara, a Korean student named Yoon Choi was kidnapped from her dormitory room. The UC police accompanied ICE and helped ICE go to her room and arrest her. This was on May 24th, 2007. But that administration did not sit quietly. They openly said she needed to be released. They negotiated with the government and made sure she was released 4 weeks later. And she was able to complete her degree in sociology, and now she's pursuing her career back in Korea. But why is it this administration, Berkeley, liberal Berkeley administration, has not done anything the slightest in this case? Was it because the university wanted this to happen? Was it because AFSCME 3299, of which Jesús Gutiérrez was a member, just had a strong strike last year of 5 days, and he was an open, proud union member, and that AFSCME 3299 got a contract 2 months ago? We don't know. And one of the things we're demanding is an independent investigation to find out exactly who was responsible, and we think it is, if that was a person in the university who is responsible for ratting on Jesús Gutiérrez, that person needs to be fired immediately. I'll say a little more later, but I see some of the other people who plan to speak should come up and make some comments. Also, everyone in the audience too, please approach Tanya Kapner. She'll be emceeing the rally.
So we know that everyone that lives and works here is a member of our community, and we know that we're all Californians, and we know that this needs to be a sanctuary campus. So let's make it happen. The students, the workers, the people that run this place are what can make it happen. The administration has been criminally silent. The real criminals are the people that would come and kidnap someone in the middle of their job. Serving and working on our campus to make it function and run. Somebody's been kidnapped in the middle of their job. That's outrageous. And we're like the new Underground Railroad, this movement for sanctuary. This is a movement for humanity. This is a movement for justice. This is a movement to say that we don't care what side of a river, what side of an imaginary border, what side of a line that's invisible to companies for their profit someone was born on. What we care about is people's right to live and work and contribute to their communities. And it's outrageous when someone gets kidnapped from our campus. That's a violation of everyone's safety, of everyone's dignity, and we will not stand by and let this happen. We demand the immediate release of Jesús Gutiérrez. We demand a sanctuary policy, and if the UCPD had anything to do with this, then that cop needs to be fired, and that supervisor needs to be fired, and they need to be off of this campus.